Hi everyone, today is one of my most favorite days in the world of selling real estate, and I guess this is kind of a vlog, a typical day in the life of a real estate agent, although not these days because it's tough selling houses. We are undergoing one of the fastest changes in real estate we've ever seen, both locally and nationally and internationally, if you believe everything you watch on YouTube. But this is my listing, and today is inspection day, and this kind of brings back a lot of, I wouldn't say PTSD, but definitely flashbacks of the kinds of things that I covered as a TV consumer reporter, and I've just seen it all. And I almost want to maybe start a marketing campaign. I don't sell ugly houses, and that whole phrase ugly doesn't mean that it physically looks bad. Well, maybe it does, but the idea is we don't want to call it a shitty house or a crappy house. And so these are two articles when the owner died. It was in the New York Times, so he was that well known for his work. He started as a scientist but then became this artist. So this house is in just great shape. No, it hasn't been updated in a very long time, so it's pretty basic, but it has what we call good bones, and it is block and stucco construction. The inspector for the buyer is going to be arriving shortly, so I have just arrived to turn on the lights and get things ready for the inspector, although there's really not much to do other than turning on the lights. But as you can see, the stove is pretty worn and it needs updating, as does the sink. He was a coffee drinker for sure, and trust me on this, even though it's not in my job description. My broker said, "Why are you cleaning the house?" Because I wanted it to sell. And it had several offers, and the first one fell through because of insurance issues. And if you need financing, you got to get insurance. And you can watch tons of videos about the issues that Florida is having with insurance, not necessarily unlike the rest of the country, but you know, Florida has those things called hurricanes, not very often, and they are overhyped. And I can say that because I was a TV reporter and I was guilty of same. So generally, they don't come up your driveway. But this is just a great little house, and one of the things they did do was put on, and we will find out when the inspector gets here, just how hurricane rated these windows are. But they're very, very strong. You can tell by the bluish cast, not so much in the video, but I can see it with the naked eye. Maybe if you look there, you can kind of see the bluer cast. I mean, it is just after, it's 7:30 in the morning, so we still have a little bit of that dawn blue color, but definitely a very strong slider here, and that's really what you want if you're gonna toughen up and stay here and not evacuate, which I really don't recommend in hurricanes. But you can see, or maybe you can even hear, it got kind of quiet in here. But this is a really strong door, and the windows and the doors and even garage doors have hurricane ratings here in Florida, and you can knock yourself out spending all kinds of money to feel like you are protected. All right, we'll wander toward the back of the house, and what I loved about this house, and I'm going to miss selling it, but you know, you got to do what you got to do and just move on. But it had a wonderful split plan. So the family started to say master, can't say that anymore. The primary, the number one bedroom is back over there, and then there are two more bedrooms over here with full walk-in size closets. So that's pretty cool. And then there's like this bonus room. So if you had visitors, they could just hang out here. You could hang out over there, playing that incredibly beautiful baby grand piano, which I guess is going to sell for thousands of dollars. Although I don't know anybody in Florida who has a piano other than this location. They did update the bathroom a while ago, so it's walk-in, and that's a cool feature to have when you're listing a home, as I was very privileged to do here. And this is bedroom number 2, bedroom number 3, and like I said, all those big walk-in closets that make a room officially a bedroom. It's amazing how many houses that I come into where they do not have a closet, but they have a huge room, but you cannot call it a bedroom unless it has a closet. So this house sat on the market or sat off the market for a year and a half after the owner died, and the executor of the estate spent a whole lot of time putting everything that was in the house outside the house, or outside what was going to be generally in the line of vision of most people looking at it here. So it's in the garage. They're planning an estate sale. Different thoughts about that if you're thinking about it. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever done one in your experience. I've heard of stories of people having estate sales, and then the people come through, they trip on something on the floor, and then they end up suing the homeowner. I hope that doesn't happen here. You just have to weigh your odds of of doing such a thing and really figuring out, is the furniture going to sell for that much? Okay, so here is the primary bathroom. As you can see, they did try and do a little bit of updating, and that's my staging soap. You know, as a realtor, you do try and put in things that will make it a little more appealing. This is the primary walk-in closet, pretty big. Oh, there is my bag of goodies down there. Have to remember to take that out when it closes, or before it closes. And not much left in here. This is really the key when you are trying to stage a place. Not having anything that's very sentimental, like photographs. You know, that piece of art, pretty benign. I threw in a couple of plants there just to give it a little bit of color, and that's the kind of thing you do. You don't want to be distracting. You want to allow someone, when they walk in that front door, their breath is taken away, and they go, yeah, this is a place I could live. They try to imagine what their things are going to look like in here. But this piano, the neighbors talk about how they would hear the owner playing the piano in the evenings, and really added a lot of class to the neighborhood. But again, what people do in Florida with a grand piano, not so much. So the pool has been very well maintained, and people who looked at this house over the short period of time, it was only on the market for 8 days, what they look for is the quality of the water. You know, does it look green? Believe me, I've been in houses that have been uncared for, neglected for years, and the pool be either green or black. So kudos to the executor of the estate who had a neighbor make sure that things were very well maintained. So people either love a pool or they hate a pool, don't want it, don't want the responsibility of it. But you know, what I have found is that when you move to Florida, you think you're going to go to the beach every day, and you don't. You end up going to the pool. All right, I have just seen the inspector pull up, so we're going to see what he has to say. Drop in the comments below if you've gone through this process and how did it go for you. As a former TV consumer reporter, like I said, this is one of my favorite days. Generally, it goes pretty well. There are no surprises if you take on houses you think will sell as this one has. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.